Welcome back to the next SpongeBob theory number 8. I'm doing this one really early, so thanks for watching if you watched. I hope we can get more subscribers. Some grouchy people have unsubscribed for no reason. It's not nice. I try really hard to do this stuff, but we'll deal with that later. Let's do something more important and let's watch the reaction. The traveling ghost theory.
The Flying Dutchman is...
Sorry. This time I'm gonna talk and pause it so I won't be wasting time and bothering the video. Okay, let's get started. This is gonna be an interesting one.
It's the ghost of Patchy the Pirate. This is a claim that makes absolutely no sense. They look different, they act different, and most importantly, Patchy the Pirate is alive at the same time we see the Flying Dutchman. It would be impossible to prove that they're the same person, right? Well, you know, I like a challenge. This is the time-traveling ghost pirate theory.
Oh yeah.
You mean the big tentacle monster in my basement?
Yeah,
How do you know about that?
I have one too.
What? So, when you say you have a muse, you mean you also have a creepy monster thing in your basement giving you SpongeBob theories?
Well, no, it didn't give me SpongeBob theories. It got me my commercial jobs.
I didn't even know there was more than one. I have like 1,000 questions right now. Like, what exactly are they? Where do they come from? What do they want?
Oh, I probably don't know that much more than you. Mine just showed up in my house one day and eventually it left.
Wait, yours left? As in you don't have a muse?
No.
What?
I just kept giving mine meat, it got me a permanent job, and then it left. Listen, I know they seem really weird and creepy at first, but honestly, they're just here to help.
But didn't you have to feed yours like more than just meat?
No. What have you been feeding yours?
Mine ate a cat.
Hang on, you gave your muse a cat?
I didn't feed it the cat, okay? It was in my home and then it took it, okay? It wasn't my fault.
Okay, well, obviously you don't have a cat in your home when you have a muse. Listen, just keep giving it meat, and eventually it'll leave you with enough SpongeBob theories to last you for years.
Interesting.
Hey, so I've been thinking about things and I'm willing to continue our relationship, but things have to be very different this time. No more eating living animals, let's just stick to the store-bought meat, okay?
Number 8.
Oh, okay. Great, glad we're on the same page. You know, I'm sorry about all the shouting and the craziness. You know, I don't have anything against you personally. I think if we just communicated better, we could have, you know, avoided a lot of the issues that we were having. But I'm glad we finally have an understanding.
Oh no.
All right, the time-traveling ghost pirate.
Oh yeah.
That's the real
Let's
title
do
we're
it.
going with. Sure, fine, whatever. Now, before we begin, I just want to say how thankful I am for all the support on these SpongeBob theories. These videos have definitely changed my
I bet
life.
they have.
So, to give a little bit back to the community, today I'd like to support a small independent company out there
Let's
that
see
you've
what it is
probably
first.
never even heard of. That's why today's video is sponsored by a tiny little indie game called
That doesn't have to do with the lore. Sorry, had to pass it. Not part of the lore. The tragedy of Patchy the Pirate.
Before I get into how these characters connect, I have to explain the tragic backstory of Patchy the Pirate.
I'm Patchy the Pirate, president of the SpongeBob SquarePants fan club!
Patchy the Pirate is the president of the SpongeBob fan club, and they often cut to him during special episodes to host the show and talk to the audience. He fits in perfectly with my television theory, and clearly works for the in-universe SpongeBob SquarePants showrunners as some kind of mascot for the show.
Boring! Well, if it isn't my less than amusing sidekick, Patchy the Parrot.
Patchy is this weird, lonely guy whose only friend is a talking parrot who's constantly harassing him, and I'm also pretty sure Patchy wants to eat him.
Shiver me timbers, it's Patchy! he's like.
But that's not what this theory is about. If you rewatch all the episodes with Patchy, you start to notice a bit of a disturbing development with his character. Patchy has devoted his entire life to SpongeBob, but that devotion is very one-sided, and the more time that goes on, the more resentful Patchy becomes of SpongeBob. In the Season 3 episode Party Pooper Pants, Patchy throws a house party and tries to invite SpongeBob, but he doesn't show up.
Say, you didn't bring SpongeBob with you, did you? Gee, I sure hope he got his invitation.
I'd sure like to go to this party, but I can't read the invitation.
But Patchy doesn't really seem to be that upset about
Seems
it.
weird.
Ah, well.
But then things start to take a turn in the episode The Sponge Who Could Fly. Patchy follows a map and goes on a crazy adventure to find the
Wait a
legendary
minute.
lost sponge.
That map looks like from that one episode, Arg. From, you know, when they were playing the board game. Let's see if I'm right. You should subscribe if I'm right. Come on. Okay, at least you could do. Okay.
SpongeBob episode, and after finally getting it, this is what plays.
Oh, remember that.
That's it? That's the lost episode? That was just a bunch of cheap walk cycles! What a rip!
So, Patchy got let down by SpongeBob again, but I'm sure he'll get over it just like last time.
SpongeBob betrayed us! I'm sorry I ever started this stupid fan club in the first place!
Patchy has a full-on mental breakdown.
Oh,
Now, eventually, he does
story
find the
everything.
real
Come
lost
on.
episode and goes back to normal, but this is just the start of Patchy's transformation into a much darker character. In the Season 6 episode, Truth or Square, Patchy throws a massive television extravaganza to celebrate 10 years of SpongeBob. There is a ton of production value and celebrities that Patchy managed to get. There is
Very
no
good.
way SpongeBob wouldn't show up for it.
SpongeBob SquarePants! What do you mean he's not coming? 10 years I've been president in his fan club!
Patchy has dedicated 10 years of his
A lot
life
of
to
years.
SpongeBob, and he can't even be bothered to show up once. And this never even gets resolved in the episode either. Patchy tries to find SpongeBob, thinks he's about to meet him, but then it turns out it was all just a dream.
Mister, are you okay?
SpongeBob!
No, it's just me.
Oh.
The guy in the
Abraham
back.
Lincoln.
Patchy's
Oh,
one-sided
okay.
obsession with SpongeBob is making
A lot of
him
people dressed
delusional,
up.
and this is by no means the last time Patchy will hallucinate meeting
Yeah.
SpongeBob. In Atlantis SquarePantis, Patchy gets lost in the desert and once again hallucinates SpongeBob.
Uh-oh, here come the hallucinations.
It's me,
He even knew it was
SpongeBob
gonna happen.
SquarePants.
But then, in SpongeBob's Big Birthday Blowout, it seems like he finally really does meet SpongeBob.
From your biggest fan. Huh? I have a fan?
Yeah, you do.
Surprise! It's Patchy the Pirate! Happy birthday, SpongeBob!
Thank you, Patchy.
But even if they don't explicitly say it, this is definitely another hallucination. It's right after he crashed into an island, and he's just a severed head for some reason, and he can breathe underwater. Yeah, I'm gonna say that this is a hallucination.
Yeah, I
they have
believe it
another
too.
alleged meeting in SpongeBob's Road to Christmas special, but this time Patchy's fully animated for some reason, so I'm pretty skeptical about this one too.
And
In
he's
fact,
not
I'm
live
gonna
anymore?
Come back to this one. Keep it in mind because it's gonna be very important later on.
I will.
So, as much as Patchy worships SpongeBob and wants to meet him, he never will. And you don't have to take my word for it either. In a 2009 WonderCon panel with some of the actors and creators of SpongeBob, they talk about the rules they have for writing the show, including the fact that Patchy can never meet SpongeBob.
His character has evolved into this pirate that's obsessed with SpongeBob. Well, they can never meet, right? Well, yeah, they can never meet. There's a lot of rules in SpongeBob which are there for a reason. I think part of the success in a way.
From the very start of his creation, they doomed Patchy to be an obsessed fan who would never meet his idol. He will spend the rest of his life devoted to SpongeBob, but no matter how hard he tries, he will never reach Bikini Bottom, and he will never meet SpongeBob. And unfortunately,
sad for him.
that is the tragic story of Patchy the Pirate. But if all of that's true, then I just have one lingering question. How come the dumpster behind the Krusty Krab has a message that reads, Patchy was here? Don't go...
Oh, I have noticed that, but I didn't think it more than that was. I saw it, but I didn't think any more. Like, I didn't think it was more than that was supposed to be about. nematodes are people too. He read that one. I remember that, but I didn't think of that at the time.
Because the time-traveling ghost pirate theory is about to get crazy.
Okay. I think he got stunned by the thing. And he's gonna act like one of the muses too. Oh. Wow, he's pretty hungry. Had some cookies, Oreos, some milk would be good. Ice cream. It's like he ran a 5K or something. Oh, he's gonna do the same thing. He's gonna eat it? Okay. Oh, it's watching him. The origin of the Flying Dutchman.
I'll come back to this message later, but first
Right.
we have to talk about the mysterious origins of the Flying Dutchman. The Flying Dutchman is the legendary ghost pirate that haunts Bikini Bottom.
In a pirate ship, the Flying Dutchman descends on Bikini Bottom.
The first time we hear about the Flying Dutchman is in the episode Squidward the Unfriendly Ghost, when SpongeBob finds a comic book about his origins.
It's the origin of the Flying Dutchman. It says when he died, they used his body as a window
I
display.
read episode,
Now he
didn't
haunts
think of
the
it at the
seven
time.
seas because he was never put to rest.
Now, I've always been a little skeptical about this origin, not just because it's claiming they put an actual human corpse up as display in a kid's store, but because the Flying Dutchman himself
Wait a
contradicts it.
minute. What if that is his skeleton in there? Like, he became a ghost, obviously, and he was buried, so he turned to a skeleton eventually, and then that's him right now. That's interesting. No one thought of that, but I did. The skeleton, that could be his skeleton from when he died.
It's a little torn. Of course, it was the shirt I was buried in.
He was never put
Yeah.
to rest.
If he was buried, then this origin can't be true. So, who is the Flying Dutchman actually? Well, when I rewatched all the episodes with the Flying Dutchman, I kept noticing that he seems to have some kind of fixation with SpongeBob in particular.
It
In the
sounds
episode
familiar.
Shanghai, he drops his anchor on SpongeBob's home, which leads to him having to briefly join the Dutchman's crew.
Yeah.
Then, in Born Again Krabs, he's about to take Mr. Krabs' soul, but then immediately changes his mind when SpongeBob offers his soul instead. And even in the Camp Coral prequel show, he haunts SpongeBob as a kid. But strangest of all, in Ghost Host, the Dutchman's ship gets destroyed, and out of all the places in Bikini Bottom he could stay, he decides to stay with SpongeBob.
My location where I'll be staying? Business or residence? Residence.
And look at the way he mischievously
Yeah,
smiles when
I
he
didn't
sees SpongeBob.
think of
It
it
feels like this is
time.
personal for him, but why? The episode Ghost Host is actually the first time we get a bit more depth of the Flying Dutchman's character. At first, he spends all of his time torturing SpongeBob, but eventually, he just wants to stay and hang out with him.
Maybe stay with a friend for a while. Just for a little while longer.
Even though his ship's already been repaired for 3 months.
Actually, I have a confession, SpongeBob. My ship's been done for 3 months now.
It feels
that's
like
a
the
long
Dutchman
time.
has some kind of vendetta against SpongeBob specifically, but also, deep down, he's just lonely and wants to be SpongeBob's friend. And does that remind you of anyone?
Patchy the pirate.
Someone who's desperate to be SpongeBob's friend, but also has a deep resentment towards him. Okay, but there's like a bunch of reasons why the Flying Dutchman couldn't be the ghost of Patchy the Pirate. I mean, for starters, they look totally different, right? Different shirt, different hat, and most importantly, the Dutchman doesn't have the iconic hook and eye patch that Patchy does. This is the point where I was about to give up and scrap this theory, but then I decided to rewatch the season 1 episode, Arg, where SpongeBob plays a board game called The Flying Dutchman's Treasure that's actually based on the Flying Dutchman's real map.
The Flying Dutchman's treasure hunt.
Based on a real treasure map.
And then I noticed something. One of the game cards actually shows a picture of the Flying Dutchman. I mean, look, he clearly has the same nose and face as him, but this looks like a picture of when he was still alive and had a darker black beard. But the hat he's wearing is not the usual Flying Dutchman hat. It is the exact same hat Patchy the Pirate wears. Okay, but he still doesn't have the eye patch and the hook hand, right? Well, yeah, but here's the thing. Neither does Patchy. Patchy's hook is always switching hands, and he constantly takes off his eye patch, because Patchy isn't a real pirate. He's just pretending to be one.
The great thing about Patchy is that he lives in Encino, California. But he's a pirate. But the only thing that makes him a pirate is that he says he's one and dresses like one.
Okay, fine, but the shirt is still very different. You know, the Dutchman's is all open and it's got those stripy things. Patchy's is more fancy with the big white puffy collar and cuffs. Well, in The Curse of Bikini Bottom, we see the Flying Dutchman's closet and he pulls out the exact same shirt that Patchy wears. Same fancy puffy collar.
Yeah, the skeleton is his too, though. And yeah, that is gotta be his shirt. No other explanation for it.
Same cuffs. Fine, okay? Maybe Patchy the Pirate and the Dutchman look the same, but that doesn't mean they're the same person. It's time we address the elephant in the room. The Flying Dutchman can't be Patchy's ghost because Patchy is alive at the same time we see the Flying Dutchman. Like, in order for this theory to be true, Patchy would have to die, and then the Dutchman's ghost would show up. But they're simultaneously existing at the same time. Patchy even shows up during an episode all about the Flying Dutchman, and he even calls it his favorite episode.
He's in control,
We're
that's
gonna see
why.
my favorite show, Shanghai. Ta-da!
It is physically impossible for Patchy and the Dutchman to be the same person. Or is it? Things are about to get stranger.
Thank you once again for supporting us at Happy Meat Farms.
That sounds
Together,
familiar.
we're building a better future.
Cut! Let's move on.
Hey Victoria, I tried to work things out with the muse like you said, and then I'm pretty sure it like bit me or something, and now I'm like feeling really weird and craving raw meat. Could you just call me back please? I'm starting to freak out a little bit.
Calm down, buddy. He's calling you right now.
Victoria, where have you been? I've been trying to call you all day.
Hey, sorry, I'm at work.
Okay, so like the muse like bit me, I think, and now I'm like craving raw meat and
Yeah, I know, I got your messages. Just calm down. This is a good thing.
how is this a good thing?
Means it's almost over. Okay, here's what I need you to do.
It's about time.
Watched all the episodes with the Flying Dutchman, I noticed something strange. In the season 7 episode, The Curse of Bikini Bottom, the Dutchman gets a girlfriend, but starts to freak out when she wants to get married.
She wants to marry me! I hate the marrying type!
But the Dutchman not being the marrying type isn't entirely true. Back in season 3 during Ghost Host, we see that the Dutchman was once married.
Is that a wedding ring?
Oh, this shows nothing.
Alright, but so what? You know, this just seems like a small continuity error between seasons. No surprise for SpongeBob. But in the season 6 special, SpongeBob versus the Big One, there's an even stranger moment like this. The Flying Dutchman bumps into Mr. Krabs and says this to him.
Ah! It's a Flying Dutchman! Ah! It's some guy I've never seen before!
He
seen
says
that-
he's
didn't
never
think of
met
it.
Mr. Krabs before, but there are two
I did see that part when the surfer dude JLK, and yeah, the part with the Dutchman. I didn't think of it at the time. Didn't think it was something important. I guess it was.
whole episodes from previous previous seasons dedicated to the Dutchman trying to steal Mr. Krabs' soul for being too greedy. They're even on a first-name basis.
Eugene Krabs! Some guy I've never seen before!
Alright, so another weird inconsistency with the Dutchman, but I'm still not convinced that it's not just lazy writing. But back in the Curse of Bikini Bottom, there's a moment that cannot be written off as another continuity error. SpongeBob and Patrick accidentally shave off the Dutchman's beard, and the Dutchman claims the beard won't grow back for another 1,000 years.
Your beard will just grow back.
You know nothing of my facial hair! It'll take 1,000 years for my beard to grow back!
But by the end of the episode, we cut to several months later, and his beard is back.
The curse will wear off when my beard grows back.
Several months later.
She wants to marry me!
It's not like this is just some plot point
Same
they forgot
episode.
about between episodes. This, several months later, is in the same episode where the Dutchman says the beard takes 1,000 years to grow back.
Strange.
It'll take 1,000 years for my beard to grow back!
Several months later.
Why the fuck
Calm
would they
down,
include this line
dude.
if they were just gonna contradict it a few minutes later in the same goddamn episode? They even blatantly mention that it's several months later twice, as if they're trying to make you realize how inconsistent it is.
Several months later.
Well, here we are several months later.
So, what does any of this mean? Why are the writers of SpongeBob intentionally making the Flying Dutchman as inconsistent as possible? Well, the only way that this makes sense to me is if we're seeing the Flying Dutchman non-chronologically.
Oh, it's backwards?
And by that I mean,
Time travel.
the Flying Dutchman is time traveling.
Oh,
Just bear with me for a second. For SpongeBob, only several months have passed, but for the Dutchman, it actually was 1,000 years later. The Dutchman didn't recognize Mr. Krabs in Season 6, because for him, this is the first time they've met, and from his perspective, the episodes where he tries to take Mr. Krabs' soul haven't happened yet. The Dutchman's not the marrying type in Season 7, but he probably actually does end up getting married to the giant monster, and that's why we see him with a ring in Season 4, because the past is the future for the Flying Dutchman. Whoa. Okay, let's calm down for a second there, Alex. This time travel idea does fix a lot of problems with the Dutchman's continuity, but claiming a character has time travel powers is a major leap. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Flying Dutchman is a very powerful ghost.
Okay, well, we're gonna do a part 2 since it is a long video. Since I hope you guys enjoyed the first part, I really enjoying this, conspiracy theory number 8. So I thank you guys for watching, and please subscribe. It actually helps the channel out. Even if even if you don't want to watch the videos, just help a guy out, help a YouTuber out, and oh yeah, of course, subscribe to Alex Bale too. He does a lot more work on this stuff than I do, but I try to react to it, and I do other stuff for you guys on here. So the goal for Return to Dreamland is 400 subscribers, and so we will be doing that. We'll be doing some games before that, so don't worry about that. But I hope you guys could help me. I mean, I'm trying to do what I'm doing right now. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys later.